Is the white man the devil?
Yes.
Is it okay to hate?
Yes.
When times get tough, you need to get proud. No need to look backward, put your feet on the ground. Stand up, stand up.
Welcome to the Father State. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Don't forget the Father State is on Patreon. Click the Patreon link in the description to support our work. And I appreciate it. I have with me a very interesting guest, Tazaryach. He is the captain of the ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge in New York. Thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
It's a pleasure to be here.
And thank you, sir. First, how would you define the Israelites? What is it, a religion, organization, or just a black club?
No, the Israelites, everybody has that Bible in their house, especially black people. And so we're raised that, we're all Gentiles saved under the grace of Jesus Christ dying.
Right.
That's what allows us to come in. And we find out through history is that we are really the descendants of Israel. Like if you look at black people today, right, they have no identity. If you was to take 10 black men and ask them all who they were, they would say Christian, Methodist, atheist, Baptist, 5%er, Egyptologist, all these things that they're not, because we're the ones that our identity was taken from. And that's what was going to be brought upon the children of Israel. They would be called that byword and that proverb. So we're the only ones that don't have that identity. So in 1969, and before I talk about ISUPK, just to give the Israelite history as a whole, before 1969, you had black people that once we got our hands on that Bible would read them records. Like if you go to your Nat Turners, your Denmark Vessies, your F.S. Cherries, your Rabbi Ford.
But let me ask you before you get to all that, do you consider yourself a religious group?
No. No.
Or do you just consider yourself the original Jews?
I wouldn't say original Jews because Jews is just one tribe. There are 11 other tribes.
So the Israelite tribe is a part of the original Jews?
No, just to say it properly, the Israelites are the 12 tribes: Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Gad, Manasseh, Ephraim. It's 12 tribes of Israel. So you may see the term Jew, but that only encompasses one tribe, right, or one kingdom. But there's two kingdoms: Southern Kingdom, Northern Kingdom. So to put it in proper context, the Israelites of today are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in North, Central, and South America, as well as those that are in Africa, Europe, and Asia, the other continents across.
Why did you guys, out of all the religions to choose, why did you choose to be a Jew rather than a Christian or Muslim or something else? Why did you pick Jew?
Well, Christ, the greatest alpha male to ever exist. When you think of an alpha male, Christ is the one you think of.
Right.
And one of the things he said in John 8:32, he said, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." So every black person goes into what makes them feel good. So it's good to say I'm a Christian or God-like, so to speak, but it doesn't require you to follow any moral codes of ethics. Us being Israelites is not something that we chose to be. It's who we were born as. Our identity was just taken away from us when we came over here in slavery. So in slavery, we came over here, then we had a slave Bible. Then we had what you would say the white man's version of the Bible. Then you had some freedmen like W.E. Du Bois gave an excellent write-up where he wrote about the freedman.
But he was a communist. You shouldn't like him. He was a communist. He hated his country. He moved to Africa, denounced his citizenship, and he died over there. He was a loser.
But what country did he hate?
America.
What's wrong with that?
If you are the Jews, you can't hate because you represent God, and God is not of hate.
Well, if God is not of hate, we celebrate a Passover every year, which is about the death of Egyptian babies. Is that love or hate?
I want to get to this. So you're a sector of the original Jews, a tribe of the original Jews.
Right, but original Jews is an improper context you keep using. And I know you black and slow. That's why I keep correcting you when you come back and say original Jews.
Right.
Because just one tribe.
Yeah, I am black and slow. That's why I'm trying to break it down. So if I can understand it, anybody would be able to understand it.
Absolutely.
did the Israelites come from? Did you come here as a result of the wealthy blacks selling the poor blacks to the Arabs? And they brought.
No.
Did they bring you here from Israel, or did they bring you here from Africa?
No, we actually came from the west coast of Africa, and the common misnomer is that black people sold black people.
No, it's not. That's true.
That is. Well, no, actually, it's not true.
No, I know for a fact it's true.
Well, let me educate you. Since you say you black is slow, let me be the one to educate you. Your skin tone doesn't make you who you are. You have Arabs that have brown skin.
Right.
You have East Indians that have brown skin. So just because an African and a black person has brown skin does not make them the same. So when we was in the west coast of Africa, how we even got there in 70 AD, we fled into Africa. So we lived amongst Africans, but we were not Africans. That's why you could find maps that would say land of Judah in the middle of Africa. So when the so-called white man came to find slaves, it wasn't Africans selling Africans. It was Africans selling Israelite people and bringing us over here into captivity. Harriet Tubman, as an example, she was an Israelite. Her family were raised as Israelites. She had an Israelite name. So what I was telling you in the beginning, the information of being an Israelite was very small when we first came into America. And then in the early 1900s, black people started waking up to who they were. The organization that I'm in was established in 1969, where we was to begin to get the full knowledge of real black history. When I say real black history, they call it the Dark Ages in Europe, but the Dark Ages was a time when black people ruled Europe. So when you go into the real history, you'll see King James was black. He was not a white guy. You'll see his whole lineage of kings were black people. They were not white people. An excellent book to get is The Russian Icons, where they'll show you the real images of all of the ancient kings in Europe. And then you'll see that they weren't white guys. They were called black people. Excuse me, they were black people, what you would call them today. And then they had the Renaissance era, where they took the greatest alpha male to exist, Jesus Christ, and turned him into a beta, which was Caesar Borgia, who was a homosexual himself, who was in love with his sister Lucretia, who they made the image of Lucretia to be Mary. And that became the Renaissance era. So all of that history that was taken away from black people in the Israelite School of UPK, we give that history back. Now I can continue what I was saying. The purpose of ISUPK is to give black people their true identity. You can't get anywhere being something that you're not. If you become a Christian, you're going to subject yourself to the Christians of today, which is the so-called white man, and then they become your rulers. So if we look up to a white God, so to speak, and then we look at the oppression that the so-called white man has given us, we'll recognize that that's oppressive, what they're doing, but we won't separate from them as we should because we believe that's our God. So now we realize Christ was a black man like you and I, and that the God of Christ and the God of us wants us to follow those law, statutes, commandments to repent from the evil that we're doing, then we can overcome it. Because the white man...
Finish your point.
Yeah.
Because the white man what?
Because the white man did put us in slavery, but God is more powerful than slavery. So we don't need the white man to get us out of slavery. We just need him to leave us alone so we can come back to our identity, follow the Most High, and then we won't have to worry about the bondage that we're in.
Amazing.
That's what ISUBK teaches.
Oh, okay. And so over in Africa, before the Arabs brought you people over here, you were enslaved by other blacks.
No, I didn't say that. I wouldn't necessarily say that we were enslaved.
But you were.
No, you won't. You'll find points. Well, if you're talking about from a biblical perspective, there are different times in the Bible where we were enslaved.
By other blacks, right?
No.
Yeah, there were no white people over in Mommy Africa in that area where they enslaved you guys.
I got you, but there were Egyptians, there were Ethiopians, there were Assyrians. Those are not, again, as you say, you black and slow, you keep using black as a blanket term. But Africans, for example, they don't call themselves black. They don't call themselves African American because they make a distinction. Black people in America do not make a distinction between blacks in Africa. They'll make, and here's how you know they suffer from lack of knowledge, as the Bible say, Hosea 4:6, because they will make a distinction between black Arabs or black East Indians. But when it comes to Africans, they make it seem like we're all black. We're not the same people. Your skin. There's a book called The Black Image in the Minds of Whites. And in that book, the white man studied our brain and studied our archaeology and said that we were not the Africans that they portray us to be. It's just that those books, the greatest thing to hide from a black person is knowledge in a book.
The best place to hide money from black people is in a book.
No, I wouldn't say the money, but
they ain't gonna open the book, so the money is safe.
Well, money is not what plagues black people, because black people have money. You know how I know black people have money?
How?
Dealers make millions of dollars off of drug addicts.
Who does that?
Drug dealers.
Oh, drug dealer. Let me ask, where is your God?
He's on his throne.
And where's the throne?
In heaven.
And where is the heaven?
Well, so in our slang, we may say the fourth dimension, but that's a place where the Most High is on his throne and Christ is on the right hand of his throne.
If black people were truly the real Israelites, and that would have meant that they would have had the mindset of God, right?
If you believe in magic.
What happened to them that they didn't see the Arabs coming to enslave them and bring them to America and other parts of the world? Why were they not smart enough to recognize that?
The same reason.
And this happened before they got to America. Why were they not smart enough to recognize if they were truly the original Israelites?
I'm going to tell you why. The same reason that they couldn't see that with the Arabs and the Africans to sell them is the same reason that they believe Joe Biden would be a better president than Donald Trump.
And what's that reason?
Because we're slow.
Blacks are slow?
Let me explain. Because you said we're black and slow again from the biblical narrative.
I didn't say all y'all. I'm saying I'm black and slow. Y'all might be smart.
Well, you notice I always say we, right? Because I never like to take it off of me. It makes it more personal to say we're black and slow. I don't want us to be black and slow. So I don't want you to be black and slow no more. I want you to be smart.
Too late.
So from the biblical narrative, even when we came out of Egypt and we've gotten to the land of Israel, what did we do at that time? We started joining the other nations, disobeying the Most High. That's why when you asked your question about shouldn't we know, I said, yes, if you believe in magic. The Bible is not magic. When we're giving them law, statute, commandments, it's up to us to keep those commandments. But what do we always do? We're envious of the nations around us. So during the time of Africa, before we came over here in slavery, we began to be just like the Africans, just like the Arabs, and we left our true power. In the Israelite School of UPK, we teach our people to come back to God, to come back to their true power, to leave an African God alone, to leave a white God alone. So now when an enemy comes, and I use the presidential election as an example, everybody looked at Trump like he was the greatest racist to ever exist. Like there was not a racist white guy before Trump came along. And then Biden come along, he's the great white hype. And nobody looks at the video where Biden says he loves black children because he's used to black roaches, like playing with roaches. And so he explains black children as roaches. But because he sounds slicker or better than Trump, because Trump doesn't sound as racist as Biden, they look at Biden as the way to be the answer. In the Israelite School UPK, you'll recognize that both of them are devils. Both of them are deceivers.
Amazing.
There is no power that can be over us except the Most High. Christ is our king. So why would we vote for anybody to be president over us when God gave us Christ as king?
Why did the black men allow themselves over the last 70 years, because it wasn't that way, where it was that way in Africa, where the black women ruled over the black men, and that's why one of the reasons Africa fell apart, became weak. In the United States of America, why are the black men allowing the black women to rule over them?
That's happening today. There's a lot of things. I did two lectures I did. One was called The Miseducation of the Black Woman, and one was The Cure for the Hatred Between the Black Man and the Black Woman. What the white man did in his grave, if you go before, I remember an interview I saw and you talked about during Jim Crow, black people were better. That's correct, right, what you said?
They were moral, they are married. They didn't see white people as superior. They didn't feel that they were less or more than white people or anyone else. They did for themselves. They respected others. They loved their neighbors. They worked hard. They bought land. They did their thing. And the black woman was not over the black man. The order of God and Christ, Christ and man, man over woman, and woman over children was in operation then. But when the civil rights movement started, which was a big mistake, that's when the black man turned his life over to the black woman.
I wouldn't say now. I actually agree with. I like what you said with the Jim Crow and before then. And it's not so much that we went to the white man. We recognized the white man was the enemy, but we also recognized that black people had their power when they were together. But I mean, when I say together, the black household was together. It was in order, under that same order that you said: God, Christ, man, woman, and child. Right. Under that, when you go before the civil rights, we were the number one household in America, about to turn the tide over from even the white man of being married. And then, like you said, civil rights came, and civil rights was the detriment. And why was that? Because uppity rich black people became the sellouts, that you would say. And instead of fighting, so during that time of Jim Crow, you had HBCUs. I'm saying HBCUs on purpose because you don't find historical black colleges no more, because we wanted to be integrated. Brown versus Board of Education. We don't have black schools no more because we wanted to be integrated. We don't have our families together no more, because when the white man saw the threat of the black household, he did two things that black people gobbled up. The first thing he did was, for black men, was he gave cheap drugs to sell. You didn't have that drug dealing that you had back in the days before the civil rights movement. And then you had that. Then you had with the black woman, he gave that black woman what the serpent gave. But the
white man didn't do it. The black civil rights leader, Martin Luther King, Jesse Jackson, and all those so-called leaders of black people did that. You can't blame the white man for that. They were not leading the black people. The so-called civil rights leaders were doing it.
Well, you have to give fault. One thing what we do in the ISBK is tell the truth.
But it was the black people did it. Why are you blaming the white folks?
If you listen to what I said, I never took nothing away from them them uppity black folks. That's the first thing I said. But that doesn't take away from the fact that the white man came and manipulated that situation.
No, what happened was they went to Lyndon B. Johnson at the time, and they said to Lyndon B. Johnson, we need to have the blacks in the Democratic Party. And what we'll do is, if you give us the blacks, the civil rights leaders made an agreement. We'll sell you the blacks into the Democratic Party, and you get in welfare, but we want to be their leaders. And so the so-called black civil rights leader made a deal with the white Democratic Party that they would sell the blacks, but they didn't want blacks to think for themselves and do for themselves.
That's the manipulation. And not only that, you got to go before that. Because when you go back to Jim Crow, we established our own cities. How did them cities get destroyed? They didn't get destroyed by black people. You know, there's never been an air attack in America until Black Wall Street happened, when they flew aircrafts over the city of Tulsa, Oklahoma, to drop grenades out of jealousy over a lie. So because they said some black person whistled at a white woman, they burned a whole entire town down. You got that city. You got the city in Detroit. You got the city Seneca Village where Central Park is at in New York.
But that's not why the Wall Street thing happened. The reason that happened was there were a couple of black businessmen and white businessmen who disagreed on some type of a deal. And then they start arguing and fighting with one another. And just like any terrorist attack upon America, it started and went into a riot. They didn't do it just because the blacks were black or that they have businesses.
So you're calling a black man a terrorist because he wants to keep his business?
I'm just saying the warfare between the white and the black broke out because they had disagreements.
But if you say America is so great and the white man is so great, why would we be labeled as terrorists? We should be American. We should be American.
Hey, come back. What I'm saying is that wasn't a terrorist attack about America at the time. They didn't go out and get some airplanes and just attack. But I want to ask you this. Do you believe human beings are in a fallen state?
That's a Funny question you asked. But before I answer that question, I just want you to recognize something. You brought up terrorists. You didn't bring up terrorists when I said what the white man did to black people. But when you talked about black people defending their businesses, you did mention terrorists.
Right.
And that's terrible for a black man to say about black people, because black people should be able to defend their businesses and their city. And it should not have been burned down over a business disagreement.
Right, but then one thing led to another. But black people try to give other black people the impression that, oh, the white man burned down the Wall Street because they hated black people, and that wasn't the case.
Black people didn't burn down their own city.
I know, but it wasn't because it was just black people.
When the Dodgers moved from Brooklyn to LA over a disagreement, they didn't burn down New York over that disagreement. They didn't burn down LA over that disagreement. But because a black man and a white man have, as you say, have a disagreement over business, the whole town gets destroyed.
Because a riot started.
And when you put that level of fear into black people, Dr. Rachel Yehuda, professor of psychiatry at the Ian School of Medicine in Mount Sinai, she did an excellent study based on the Holocaust. Based on the Holocaust and that trauma that they went through with the Germans, they wanted to show or do a study to see how does that pass down to children. And in the study of the Holocaust, what they found is that black people that have suffered from 400 to 500 years of slavery, those traumatic effects have passed down to our children.
Don't believe that woman. That woman is dumb.
Well, you said you dumb too, so I shouldn't believe what you said.
But she was dumber. Never follow a woman, you will suffer.
No, you can't say she dumb when you said you dumb too.
No, I am, but she's dumber.
I won't follow neither one of y'all. Then.
Right, you shouldn't. You shouldn't follow no man.
I shouldn't follow no man?
No man.
But
any man that follow another man is weak.
Wait, no. But we all follow Christ, though.
But Christ is not. Christ is a spirit in us.
Christ is not a spirit.
Yes,
Christ is a man first.
No, he was a spirit in a male's body.
That's a lie.
Let me come back to, do you believe that human beings are in a fallen state?
I believe blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are in a fallen state. The white man that you see today is not in a fallen state, except falling from the greatness that he once enjoyed at the hands of slaves.
But the white people are not in a fallen state.
No.
But everybody else is in a fallen state.
Well, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have been in a fallen state since we've been here in America.
And what does it mean to be in a fallen state?
The fallen state meaning falling from our identity, falling from understanding who our oppressor is, and having no knowledge of how to get out of that condition. And that's why we fall into presidential elections. Every 4 years, we think this is the great answer to fix us, instead of leaving the elections alone and black people just fixing themselves. We don't need a white handout, an African handout, an Arab handout. That's not what we do in ISUBK. We fix ourselves.
But
we meant the atrocities that are committed against us by other nations, not just like the white man. Okay, you hear us talk about the white man a lot because he's the major issue, so to speak. But Africans are issues for us too. Arabs are issues for us too. So we teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to be self-sufficient outside of depending on other races to fix us.
Why do you include Hispanics? Hispanics don't even like black people at all, and they don't want to be a part of your group. Why do the blacks say black and brown, black Hispanics and others, when no one really like black people? Especially nowadays, they like them less because they've been so radical and violent and immoral and destructive. Why are you people involved in the Hispanics? They don't like y'all. And they don't want to be a part of it.
I got you. The Hispanics are also descendants of the 12 tribes of the nation.
I know, but they don't want to be a part of you. When you say black and Hispanic, they don't want the black saying that they are part of it.
Well, you might want to come into our organization. You would have a different opinion of what you just said. And so even that divisiveness that black and brown people had, when you go through history. They still have it, not had. They still have it. No. When I'm saying had, it's because I'm going to give you, like, there's always a root to everything. So the root of black and brown hatred is because when blacks first came over here to North America as slaves, you know who we teamed up with? Our brown brothers. And you know what the white man and his cunning nature did? he started letting black people have brown slaves. He started letting the Native Indians have black slaves.
Amazing.
And it would create a forever animosity between the two of us, instead of looking at the common enemy who was selling, raping, and killing us all. We just celebrated Thanksgiving last week, everybody in their house eating turkey, which was about the murder of 77 million Native Indians. And black people did it because we were taught that the Native Indians was our enemy. But the one that's been beating our back, taking our kids, seducing us with drugs, with the feminist movement, he's not our enemy.
Amazing.
So that's the problem.
What is that? I mean, so you're telling me that it's the white people have not fallen away from God. The blacks, the Mexicans, the Chinese, and others are the only ones who've fallen away from God, but not the white people. They still have a relationship with God.
The white man has never believed in God, ever.
But then you said that only the colored people are in a fallen state, not the white people.
I didn't say colored people.
The blacks and Mexicans and others, they're the only one in the fallen state, right?
Right. Because
and so white people have not fallen.
No, they rule America.
So they have not fallen.
Listen, the white man is doing exactly what he wants to do.
So he's not in a fallen state.
No.
Amazing. I bet the white people will be glad to hear that. If white people are not in a fallen state, why are they so afraid of the blacks?
You know why they're afraid of the blacks?
Why?
Because they're afraid if the blacks come out of that fallen state, then they will be in a fallen state. That's why they're afraid. Listen, the reason why they burned down Wall Street is not for the business crap that you said.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. I'm going to tell you why.
I know that for a fact.
No, you don't. I'm going to tell you why. They so-called freed the slaves in the late 1800s. By the 1920s, when the white man was in his so-called depression, we established colleges, cities, banks, hospitals, lawyers, doctors, etc. in 40 years. 40 years. And that white man said, imagine if I let these niggas get 50 years or 100 years. What would they become and where would I be? And that's biblical. In Exodus, the first chapter, when Pharaoh saw the children of Israel, he said, let us deal wisely with them unless they get bigger than us and mightier than us and overtake us. The white man's greatest fear is that black men get off drugs.
No, the white man's greatest fear is that black people are going to kill them and take their stuff.
If we're not on drugs, then we don't have something afflicting us and we can focus on the real enemy. If we're not aborting our babies, then our children get to grow and get to prosper. If that black house is fixed, then the black man and black woman don't have that animosity and anger towards each other. And that's the number one threat to white people. And the proof of that is, like I said, when you go to before 1964, the black household was the greatest thing going. And the white man strategically targeted that.
No, it was the black civil rights leaders who did that. But let me ask you this. Do you believe white people are superior?
No.
Do you believe in white supremacy?
No. I don't believe in white supremacy and the fact that they're supreme, but the white man does have the power to lock black men up, black women up. He does have the power to put drugs in our community, not in their community. He does have the power to hire and fire. So he does have that power.
What does it feel like to you, Tazaryach? Right?
Tazaryach.
Tazaryach. What
There you go. Give him a hand for saying it right. Give him a Amazing.
What does it feel like to you personally? Not to your group, but to you as a male. What does that feel like to hear yourself blaming and complaining about another man and that you can't make it because some other man to keep you down? I don't know what that feels like. I've never had that in my life. What does that feel like to believe that a white man or a Mexican man or any man can keep you down, so you got to complain about it rather than overcoming it? What does that feel like?
Well, me being an alpha male myself, I don't know what that feels like.
Then why are you complaining for other beta males?
No, I've never said that though.
But
pointing out crimes is not complaining.
But you're complaining about the white man.
For example, when the towers fell, 3,000 people died. 3,000. And in the name of them towers falling, they went to war in Afghanistan. Now, they said only Osama bin Laden and whoever was down with him caused it. But they've killed millions of men, women, and children that were not with Osama bin Laden. And they have this slogan, we will never forget. So every year they bring up the crime.
I know, but you're going away from what I just asked. Because I hear a lot of black males sounding like black women, and they're complaining about some white man keeping them down, and they can't make it because of the white man. As a male,
right?
You said you don't believe the white man could keep you down, right?
White man hasn't kept me down.
So what have you done to keep the white man from keeping you down personally?
Okay, I want to finish showing you.
Yeah, I'll let you come back to that. But tell me, what have you done personally to keep the white man from keeping you down?
I got you. I'm coming right to your answer. I'm just walking you to it so you can understand, because I know you respect white men, so I'm using them. So I'm teaching you how to be an alpha. You like. I'm
not a beta male.
Nah, you in between. I won't say you all the way beta. You like in between alpha and beta. We're gonna call you A and B. That's what. So, what the whole point of saying that is, every year they bring up the crimes that the Osama bin Laden and them do, but they're still in power. They still have their military. They still have their might. They still go out and teach. They go out and do everything to make America great. So now I said that to say, me personally, because you asked me personally,
yeah.
I am personally not oppressed, but my people are.
Why you're not personally oppressed?
Let me just finish. I am not personally oppressed, but my people are. And the reason why they are is because black people are taught to forget what happened to them. And if you don't face what happened to you, you'll never get a solution to empower you to become the alphas that you are. So we take black men and we turn them all into alphas. In the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, every single brother in here is a alpha male.
But why you're not personally oppressed, you?
Because why am I not personally oppressed?
Yes.
Because I was raised to never be inferior to no man.
And who raised you that way?
My mother and father.
So why don't you teach that to the blacks rather than bringing up all this stuff that doesn't exist anymore?
You believe in God, right?
Yes.
You believe that what God says is law, right?
Yes.
So how can I raise up a nation and not tell them what God said?
But God does not blame someone else.
I didn't say it, but God does say, remember what I did to the children to Egypt. God does say that. Remember when I brought you out. Our whole feast days in Israel.
But when he said remember, that means we don't have to worry because he got us. He loved us and he got us. But he never complained about the white man. And he didn't teach anyone else to complain, but he taught them to overcome.
But do you know why God said to remember? Do you know why?
Yes.
If you don't, why did he say to remember?
So that we would know how to live and see a way to live when we remember him.
Right. So now we have to remember what happened with our ancestors of old.
But he didn't blame the white man because all people have enslaved someone at some point in time. Every year, white men seduce my brothers and sisters. So every year I have to remind them, you're going. So now everybody's going to go with Joe Biden, right? Everybody voted for Joe Biden. No, it's not true. They stole the election. Everybody did not vote. Only the blacks voted for him, and the gays, the blacks, the homosexuals, the lesbians, the corrupt people voted for Joe Biden.
Okay, so blacks are even better because that's all I care about. So let's say all the blacks voted for Joe Biden.
Okay.
That's why I have to bring them into remembrance, because Joe Biden is a devil just like Trump was a devil. Joe Biden is going to mislead him and destroy him just like Trump before him, just like Obama before him, just like Bush before him, just like Clinton before him. So just like the Most High told us back in biblical time to remember and bring to remembrance so that we can serve him, that's our job. So I can't just go to somebody and say, man, I was raised to be superior. I have to tell them, God said, don't do this. God said, don't do that. Like, you don't sin, right? I always hear you say you don't sin, right?
No one of God, if you've been born again of God, it's impossible to sin. But let me ask, if the blacks had a father and mother as you did growing up, would they be complaining about the white people today?
Well, I didn't have my father my whole life.
Oh, who did you have?
So I primarily had my mother, and my father was like in and out. because he had an addiction problem.
So you were not close to your father?
No, I was. I'm not saying that to say that I wasn't close to him. But my father, my life story is every other black man's life story. You grow up, when I say every, of course, it's not literal, but it's majority,
right.
especially in the 70s, 80s, and 90s and stuff like that.
Right.
So I grew up in a broken home. Now, if anybody can look at me and say, damn, Tazaryach grew up in a broken home, look what he was able to overcome. How did he do that? And I could say, God did that. And then now we can inspire other black people. And they say, well, what did God say to do? God said there's certain things you're supposed to eat, certain things you're supposed to celebrate, certain people you're supposed to love, and certain people you're not supposed to love. Certain people you can have sex with and deal with and marry, and certain people you can't.
Are you married?
That's what God. Yes.
Do you believe our battle is a spiritual battle or a physical battle?
Spiritual first, physical second.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
How do you know you believe in God?
Because I keep his commandments.
And what are his commandments?
His commandments are the 613 laws that you're following throughout the Bible.
And do you love your neighbor as yourself?
I love my neighbor as myself. That's correct.
So do you love white people?
He's not my neighbor.
Do you love white people?
He's not my neighbor.
Do you love white people?
He's not my neighbor.
Do you love white people, Ambassador?
But he's not my neighbor.
And what's the answer
no.
to that?
No.
You don't love white people?
No.
And do your God love white people?
No.
Right.
God only loves the children of Israel. You as a pastor should know that.
Do you sin?
You would have to show me chapter and verse where God loves anyone but the children of Israel.
Do you love God?
You're not going to show me the verse?
Do you love God?
Yes.
And if you love God, how can you love him but hate your neighbor?
Well, as I just explained to you, in Leviticus, the 19th chapter, when it talks about your neighbor, that's the children of Israel. Right. That's not talking about all races of people.
Amazing.
And that's the problem with Christianity. Christianity believes that you're just supposed to love everybody. God loves everybody. God can't love everything.
He can hate.
God is a man of war, you know. Exodus 15:3 says God is a man of war.
Does God have hate?
Yes. He hates sinners.
Does Satan have hate?
Say again?
Does Satan have hate?
Well, Satan follows the authority of the Most High.
Does he have hate? Is he of hate?
To us, yes.
Is Satan of hate?
To us, yes.
Does he have love?
Of the Most High, he does.
Satan loved the Most High?
The angel, that's correct.
Satan loved the Most High?
Yeah, and I know that's going to sound strange. Y'all probably going to use it as a soundbite.
So Satan loved God?
I'm going to answer you. In the Christian church, they teach that angels rebelled against God. So Satan and all that rebel. There is no such thing as any angel rebelling against God at all. You know who rebels? We rebel. The reason why blacks and Hispanics are in the condition that they're in is because we're the angels that chose to disobey God.
And why did you chose to disobey him?
Because we thought it was better to eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, eat with white women, celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving.
You thought that in heaven?
Say again?
Satan rebelled while in heaven with God. Did the black people think that while they were in heaven that they need to have some pork?
There was never no rebellion in heaven.
And so, are you saying there? So,
I did not know this as a pastor.
Is
Jesse.
there no Satan?
No, I never said there was no Satan.
But Satan loved God, you say?
Satan is an angel, like Michael is.
Is he an angel of love?
No.
Is he an angel of hate?
No. He's an angel that follows orders that he's given.
And does he love you?
I wouldn't say he loves or hates me.
Do you love Satan?
No.
And why not?
I don't love no angel.
Do you sin?
No.
And why not?
That's why because I don't break his commandments. That's why I asked you if you sin, and I was going to ask you what is sin. Do you know what sin is?
I do, but let me ask you this first. You have no anger in your heart at all?
Yes. I have anger. I have love. I have care. I have all that.
Well, how can you have all that and don't sin? That is sin.
Because the scriptures say there's a time for love and a time for hate.
Did you know that any male that has anger is a woman?
Did God say that?
Uh-huh.
So, but did God say there's a time for love and time for hate?
Yeah, there's a time for love, but not that father state hatred. It's discernment.
You twisting the scripture now. The scriptures say there's a time for love and a time for hate. Do you agree? Yes or no?
Yeah, yes, it is there's a time for all things, and there's the opposites to everything.
Okay, so if there's a time for love and time for hate, God is not a woman, he's a man. So if God told me that I can love and hate, I can absolutely do it.
But you got the wrong kind of hate. You have the father state hate. But let me ask, did you know that any male that has anger is a female?
That's beta talk. Now you sounded like I told you it was in between, Jesse. You between the alpha and the beta. We're gonna call you A and B.
So
That's not.
why don't you answer that question? Did you know that any male that has anger is a female?
That's not true.
Why you say it's not true?
Because then you're saying God is a female.
Then why did God say that we must be born? We are born of the woman, which is in a fallen state, and when we become an adult, we should be born, return to the Father, and be born of the Father. If if having a woman's nature was good enough for us, why did He want us to be born again of the Spirit?
You would have to show me where it says that before I should have to answer that.
Okay. Let me ask, is it possible to know God without reading the Bible?
No.
Why not?
How can you know him unless you go to where he's at?
Does He dwell in you?
Yes.
And why can't you go in and know Him without having to read the Bible?
Because Christians believe God dwells in them while they sin every day. They go to church on Sunday, which is the worship of the sun, when the Lord said his Sabbath day was the seventh day. So why are they going to serve the Lord on a day he did not ordain, but say God is in them? They eat the foods he say don't eat, but God is in them. God is not in the Christian.
So if you hate the white man, you are of hate as well, right? You are a sinner.
But God hates the white man too, though.
No, He doesn't.
Yes, he do. You should read Romans 9 and 13 in the New Testament and Malachi 1 and 4 in the Old Testament.
In order to become an Israelite, did you have to repent and be born again?
Well, you're Israelites by birth.
So you did not have to repent and be born again?
Well, the repentance comes when you find out you're an Israelite and you repent or change your ways from being a sinner to following the Most High. That's the difference.
Did you have to repent and be born again in order to become an Israelite?
Absolutely.
You said yes?
Yes, I said yes.
So
absolutely.
are the real Jews, the Jews of Israel, are they fake Jews?
So the white people that say they Jews?
Are they imposters?
Yes, they are imposters.
Amazing.
Yeah, and everybody knows they're imposters.
Do you believe?
I remember Helen Thomas was in office, but she was like the secretary or something like that. And when she said that they should go back home, and they said, "Where's home?" And she said, "Poland, Russia, Germany, where they're originally from." They fired her 4 hours later for telling the truth.
Amazing.
Everybody knows that the so-called Jew is not the Jew.
Are black people cursed?
Off the coastline.
Are black people cursed?
Black people, saying black people are cursed is a terrible thing to say.
No, I'm asking, are they cursed?
No.
Why is it that black people don't build, but they destroy? If they're not cursed, I noticed that whenever you want to do something negative and bad, you can rent a black, but if you want to do good, you rent a white. If black people are not cursed, why do they only destroy rather than build?
Jesse, did you say when a black person want to do good, they rent? I didn't hear that word.
Yeah, I said that when the rest of the world, society want to do bad, they rent a black. But when they want to do good, they rent a white. If they want to build, they will rent a white. But if they want to destroy, they rent a black. If black people are not cursed, why are they so available for destruction?
Now, here's the problem with the statement that you made, right? John 8 and 44 says, "You are of your father, the devil." Black people have done the greatest things in America and get no credit for. The heart surgeon. There's a movie
in
where
the
they
last
want
70 years, let's start with that. Let's forget about all back then because black people were decent people then, so they did better. But for the last 70 years, they destroyed communities, they destroyed neighborhoods, they destroyed one another. Obama became the president. They elected the fallen Messiah. He destroyed the country. and now Black Lives Matter have gone radical and terrorist attack upon America. If black people are not cursed, why are they only used for destruction?
This is how you just prove, Jesse, that you are now in the beta category. And I'm going to tell you
What's
why.
the answer to that?
I'm going to answer. There has not been a greater destroyer of people than the white man.
You're not telling me why blacks are so destructive now.
I'm trying to, you said why when they want to do something they go to white people. And when they want to do something bad, they go to black people.
Right, whenever they want. If you notice, anyone that want to kill babies inside the womb, 70% of parent-parenthood abortion centers are in the mills are in the black communities. We just had a terrorist attack upon America by the far-left liberal radical Black Lives Matter, an organization that was founded by a bunch of fat black lesbians and blacks going and stealing and killing and breaking their businesses, and they reward the blacks for that. Why are blacks used for destruction rather than to build if they're not cursed?
That's why I made the statement that you cannot get past the racism and cunningness of the so-called white man. Now, I hate Black Lives Matter just like you do.
I don't hate them.
But during them, you do.
I know, I just don't agree with their evil.
No problem. But during them riots, those are white people. Right. Those are white people in the videos. That's why they all had the mask on. When you want to know who was the black...
was white Antifa. You're right about them. But the people that were stealing refrigerators and stoves and African dishes were black people. And they didn't have a mask on, some of them.
No, that's what I was going to say. When black people do their rioting, they don't have the mask on. And the mask was white people. Like when they burning the police station down, black people don't even think that. Like you say, we dumb and slow. So black people don't think.
All black. I said me.
Right. But they wouldn't think to burn down the police station. But they would think to loot a store. The scriptures say oppression make a wise man mad. You can't oppress a people. The difference between like a black person kills another black person, that person can get locked up and go to jail. The reason why black people are angry at a white man, cop or otherwise, when they kill is not that they're killing and black people aren't, because there's more white on white crime than black on black crime. That's why I called you a beta.
Because there are more white people.
But nobody points out.
For the number of black people, there are more black on black crime than white on black. White on white.
But everybody makes the focus about being a murderer and killer and thief about black people when there ain't a greater murderer, killer, and thief than white people.
Amazing.
You take it off. You take it off of black people. You go to Africa, they destroying lands over in Africa. I just told you the millions that they destroy.
The blacks are doing that in Africa, not the white people.
Not at the rate that white people are.
But black people are taking the land of even the land of the whites. They're murdering, robbing, raping, and killing, and they're taking the land without compensation, and they can't even grow food.
But how is the land in Africa belonging to white people when white people was from Europe?
But white people were there before the blacks got there, though.
No, they wasn't.
Yes, there was a time when there were no blacks; it was mostly whites, especially in greater parts of South Africa.
No.
But because of time, I know you want to go down and the other stuff, but I want to move forward. If black people got married, father and mothers became good examples, perfect examples for their children, right. And if they led their kids in the right way to go, love God with all their heart, soul, and might, would the blacks be in the condition that they're in today?
No.
So why not push for that rather than blaming white people?
Okay, again, you're going back to our premise. In the Israelite school of UPK, that's what we do. We have tons of marriages that we restored, black homes that we restored, young children able to grow up and serve the Most High the same way you do. But that does not absolve the white man for what he's done and put us in this condition.
But he never did that, though. That was so weird. Let me ask, do you believe that a man should have more than one wife?
Yes, but before I answer that question, there's no way we can avoid the mistake of old without learning from the past. Romans 15:4 says, whatsoever is written aforetime was written for our learning. So now we have to know the mistakes we made.
But the mistake was to turn away from God.
How did we turn away from God? We didn't turn away from God by just turning our back and walking away from him.
By following the civil rights leaders.
No, you got to go before that.
But before that, we were doing fine.
No, that ain't what I mean. by turning away from every culture instead of following ours. So take a black family. You can have a black family.
When I was
black
growing
man.
up, there was no such thing as following culture. What we did was we followed God. The cultural thing only became apparent, became to the forefront when black people fell away from God and family.
Now, what black people knew back then, before civil rights, was that family had to be together.
Yes.
But their concept of God still came from white Christianity. It didn't come from having an identity.
No, there's no color to Christianity.
You're right. There's no color to Christianity.
So why do you say white Christianity? There's no such thing as white Christianity. There are white Christians, but not white Christianity.
There's no color to Christianity,
right.
But there is color that matters to God.
What?
Example, there is color that matters to God.
Color doesn't matter to God at all.
I'm going to tell you why. The greatest alpha male to ever exist, Jesus Christ, is a black man. But no white person.
Oh, Lord. What the?
You must not know the Bible, Jesse.
What
you falling into the fallen state for sure.
Amazing.
You got the right name of the show. So now
there was a guy by the name of Officer Shitaza. Yeah. And he said that the white man is a born, natural, psychopathic, monarchical, lying killer. Is that true? You believe that?
Absolutely.
What?
Why wouldn't I?
Oh, my God. Let me ask. So you believe that a man should have more than one wife?
I don't believe that a man should, because every man don't have to have more than one.
You believe that a man could?
Yes.
And do you have more than one wife?
Whether what I have is irrelevant, but a man can have more than one wife. That's lawful to God.
And do you have more than one wife?
That's irrelevant.
Why is that irrelevant? You're the leader.
I'm not the leader. Commander General Hanna is our leader.
But you're next to Commander General Hanna. Do you have more than one wife?
That's irrelevant. I'm not next to him. What? I'm captain of 13,000. There are other captains.
Oh, okay. But why is that irrelevant? You're the example for the other men, right?
Right.
And so as an example, do you have more than one wife?
As the example for other men, men know that they can have no wife, one wife, or 12.
And so do you have more than one?
That's irrelevant.
Why is that irrelevant? If you're my leader, I want to know what my leader does. I want to do it too.
You know what a leader does? A leader knows how to be in charge of men.
And so
let me answer. So if I was to sit here and say how many I have, me being a leader, I know that there may be some men that want to emulate that may not be ready. So I'm not going to say how many I have. What I am going to say, though, is a leader as a man, you can have none, 1, or 12.
How many you have?
That's irrelevant.
You mean one, between 1 to 10.
That's irrelevant.
No, to me, I want to know because I can run out and get me a few extra ones.
Well, you got to come to class because you can't be a beta getting wives. That's why I won't give the answer you want.
So what I got to do, man, this has been so much fun. Did you vote for the Great White Hope?
Hell no. I ain't vote for nobody.
Why not?
Because we have who God wanted us to have.
Did you vote for the fallen Messiah?
No.
You know Donald Trump, right? I mean Barack Obama, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't vote for him either.
You didn't? Why you didn't vote for the fallen Messiah, Big Mama?
God gave us our king, president, ruler, and authority, and that's Jesus Christ. Right. So why did you vote is the question. If you believe in God, why did you vote to have anybody rule? The scripture don't say God, Christ, Trump, man, woman. The scripture say God, Christ, man, woman. So why did you mess up the authority?
Because he sent the Great White Hope, Donald Trump, to run our country. He's working in Donald Trump to make America great again.
Give me chapter and verse. So you saying a white man ruling over black people is what God wanted?
He's not ruling over them. He is ruling over the country. He's making the country better for the voters.
That's what a president or king does, rules.
Well, he's not ruling. Obama tried to, but it didn't work.
I ain't talking about Obama, I'm talking about Trump.
Trump is not ruling over anyone.
Well, he ain't ruling over nobody now because he's about to get kicked out. But he was ruler, president of the United States. He's the ruler over the United States.
Are you the head of your wife?
Hell yeah.
Are you the head of all your wives?
That's irrelevant. I'm an alpha, Jesse. I try to tell you, you ain't gonna get me.
What is the state of black women around America today?
The state of black women is black women have been the most seduced woman on the planet. She's seduced to think that she don't need a man, even though she'll let a man have sex with her. She's the only one that's taught her independence requires her to be single, requires her to not have a head or authority. In the Israelite school of UPK, we retrain that black woman. There's nothing greater on the face of the planet than a black woman. But she also has to be educated or re-educated. That's why I did my lecture called The Miseducation of the Black Woman, where I show the black woman she's far greater than what she could ever be listening to a so-called white man telling her to abort her baby, put a man on child support, kick him out the house. So
what's the state of the black man and why is he so weak? He allows the woman to make him do those things.
Well, the black man is weak because the white man and his supremacy removed the black man out of the house with the assistance of the black woman. So you have all these sons that have been allowed to grow up without male masculinity around them to show them how to be strong. So that's why you have so many more homosexuals, black men that don't know what to do with their lives. They don't know how to be parents because no child, and this goes for daughters too.
Yeah.
A child growing up without a mother and father, you're not seeing how a household is supposed to run. Who makes decisions?
I agree with that.
Who follows?
And so are you surprised that black men are slut makers and black women are sluts?
The only reason a black woman is a slut is because black men love sluts. Black men will stop being sluts when black men stop loving sluts.
What is the state of black men today?
Remember, I'll answer that in 1 second. Remember how you said, am I the head? The black man is the head. So he has to get in order.
Right.
And then the black woman gets in order. That's how it goes.
I agree to that. What is the state of black men today?
The state of black men is we're in total attack. The black man has been beaten down into powder. He's the one species on the planet that you can vilify, destroy, beat, kill, put in jail. And the minute he try to stand up, like when we do it, we're looked at as the Klan, or we're looked at as some black supremacist group.
And did that happen by the white man or black mothers and grandmothers? They're the one did that to the boys?
It happened by the seduction from the white man. That's why I said when you go into the 70s and you go to that feminist movement, Gloria Steinem, which was a white woman, Gloria Steinem worked along with the CIA to seduce black women to kick their man out of the house.
Amazing.
That's why the Bible is such a stronghold to the truth and understanding that black men and women need.
Because of time, I'm sorry to rush you, but what is a man?
What do you mean when you say that?
What is a man?
A man, I'll speak for Israelites. A man is one that serves God and raises his nation with the spirit that the Most High gave him.
And what is love?
Love is keeping the commandments.
Amazing.
Of God.
So I got to heat this up, man. I got to put you on the hot seat. So what I need is so let me just ask real fast. Do you support that far left liberal radical group called Black Lives Matter, an organization of fat black radical lesbians?
No, I do not.
Okay.
They're a part of they represent that feminist movement that, their mantra is about the woman, the child, and the parent. So they're part of the problem because they want to remove the man. They want to remove the man out of the house.
Yeah.
So they represent the same problem the white man represents.
So I got to heat this up. I'm going to put you on the hot seat, and I need you to answer these questions as quickly as possible.
Okay.
The hot seat.
Are black people always late?
No.
Is the black woman God?
No.
Is the white man the devil?
Yes.
Is it okay to hate?
Yes.
Is the ISUPK uniting the races or dividing them?
We're uniting the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Is it a sin to sleep with a white woman?
Yes.
Have you ever slept with a white woman?
No.
Is homosexuality good or evil?
Evil.
True or false? Is Jesus black?
True.
True or false? Jesus will return to earth and enslave the white people.
True.
Is it normal to have anger?
No. Yes, it's normal.
Did you have fun?
Absolutely.
Thank you for sitting in the hot seat, man, and thanks for coming on. Tell the folks how they can watch your shows or your podcast or whatever you're doing.
I appreciate it, man. Again, I'm Captain Tazaryach of ISUBK under Commander General Yohana. You can find our website, www.isubk.com. We have a few YouTube channels. You can search Black Watch on YouTube with Commander General Yohana. He does a radio show every Monday, and he does lives pretty much 3 to 4 times throughout the week. I have a radio show along with Captain Katazar. It's called Cross the Line Radio, which broadcasts every Thursday at 10 p.m. If you want to join our school, you have to be Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. But if you go to isubk.com and select the Contact Us page, you can find a city closer to you. We're in the United States. We're in South America. We're in Europe. We're in the West Indian Islands. And that's my time. I appreciate you having me on, Jesse.
Thanks.
Also, too, Jesse, before one more thing, we also have a prison department for the brothers and sisters that are in prison. If you have a family member that's in prison, you can reach out to us. We'll work with those brothers and sisters. You can email us at isupkpd@gmail.com. Thanks, Jesse. I appreciate you having me.
Amazing. Merry Christmas to you, man.
No, I don't celebrate that. Come on, Jesse. You a beta? You that much of a beta? So you telling me you believe a white man coming down a chimney to bring gifts?
I look forward to Santa on the 25th. I wake up early. I clean my chimney out on the 24th.
Hey, Jesse, you might be that beta, Jesse.
Maybe, but I love Santa.
Hey, you gonna only? I don't know if this is live, never, but let me know when y'all put the video up so I can check it out.
Yeah, we will. We definitely will.
All right, thanks, man. You have a good day.
All right, God bless you.
Bless you too.
All right, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I absolutely appreciate it. Make sure I hear from you. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, share, ring the bell, and ring my bell. Check out our merch. We have amazing merch. And don't forget to click on the Patreon page there and support us. I absolutely appreciate it. And if you have amazing guests, interesting guests for the Fallen State, go to thefallenstate.tv and make the suggestions there. We'll check them out.
Next time on The Fallen State.
I made music at the time when you were afraid to say damn on the record.
Yeah.
We would go to our little private schools. They'll be studying about history in England or whatever. And we'll come back and they're learning about the Queen, and we'll show them pictures of us and the Queen. And there's a lot of great cops out there. But I've had a few friends. What you stopped me for? You're going to get treated the way you treat others.
Yes.
If you're driving and your license expired, you're supposed to go to jail.
What was it like when you lost Michael Jackson?
That was one of the worst times ever. I think about my brother every day, man. Every day.
I remember when I was gone astray. Somehow I fell into darkness and then we went on the longest day. But it's looking like we were all this way. Engulfed in hate, swept away. But could it be how we're born and raised? Mothers and fathers in the fallen state. Create more sons and daughters in the fallen state. Feel like you're lost and can't find a way to find your way. Stop thinking and start seeking to find the kingdom of your father's name.
Thanks for watching The Fallen State. We need your continued support. Donate to my nonprofit here. Subscribe and like the videos here. And tell everybody and their mama about the show.
This won't work, it's not the smartest, could hurt them, so be cautious. Better to be still and familiar with the fathers, earthly and heavenly, that can solve us. But to then I'm all amazed by the childish ways. People going astray cause everybody falls away. Just look at all the names, the problem's all the same. Just know your father's name and overcome the fallen state. And that's why I'm amazed, it's the childish ways. People going astray but everybody falls away. Just look at all the names, the problem's all the same. Elevate every day, overcome the fallen state. Think there's a ism or by race? That's amazing. Think men and women are the same? That's amazing. Think the white man is who's to blame? That's amazing. It's spiritual, that's all a game. Amazing. I said think there's a ism or by race? Amazing. Think men and women are the same? Amazing. Think the white man is who's to blame? Amazing. It's spiritual, that's all a game. Elevate. Elevate. Overcome the fallen state. Elevate. elevate every day, overcome the fallen state.